Okay, looks like I'm live. I've got a webcam, so I've been going to go ahead and try it out for standard purposes. I guess the reason for this podcast was to bring a musing of mine, or maybe a dream, to folks' attention and see what y'all think about it. So let's get started. I was taking a nap today and woke up with the understanding of logic. Um, why did God create the tree of knowledge of good and evil? And why did he allow Adam to sin? Why did he create the devil? Why did he allow all those things? It's something only God would know. But I can take a guess at the logic and see if this tracks. Because of man's fall and man's continued depravity and inability to reconcile with God and to have sins atoned for, Christ had to come and pay the price for us. He set it up so that all we had to do was believe in him, and we could be set free from sin. And that Christ's glory was the shame at the cross, and that he died for all of us, and now he's glorified and sits at the right hand of God forevermore. So if Satan hadn't tempted Adam, and Adam hadn't, Eve, and then Adam hadn't fallen, Christ would not have been glorified in the way that he was. It would be a shared glory, because there would be no need for it. Everyone would have been just peachy keen, I guess. So the question is, why did God do it that way? I guess the answer is he wanted to glorify his son in such a way. He needed to demonstrate a certain kind of sacrificial love. If we get to see aspects of his character play out, Paul writes, what if... let me look that verse up real quick. What if God, intending to show his wrath and make his power known, bore with great patience the vessels of wrath prepared for destruction? What if he did this to make the riches of his glory known to the vessels of his mercy, whom he prepared in advance for glory, including us, whom he has called not only from the Jews but from the Gentiles? And so this entire thing has been played out so that we get to see who God really is. Why does the tree exist? Why does the devil exist? Why does bad things happen? We get to see the full spectrum of grace and mercy and wrath. And if you go ask Job, bad things happen, and it's just the way it is. Bad things happen. But we have a resurrection to look forward to. This life isn't the only life we have. And so To be absent in the body is to be present with the Lord. But everything has been done for His good pleasure. And sometimes there is that delayed gratification where that reward comes in, or where the balancing comes out. There was a video I watched earlier today that said sometimes your balance doesn't happen until the resurrection with Job, where his family died. Sometimes the balance happens in this life with Joseph being sold into slavery and then being elevated to second in command of Egypt. Everything is for good. All things are for good. And they wouldn't have to say all things are for good for the good things, because you obviously know the good things are for good, but all things are for good is supposed to be for, especially for the bad things. So, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, the fall, the devil, it was all to bring Him glory, and so that we get to see who God really is, all aspects of Him. There's some parts of Him that we would never know if things went perfectly. And so He designed it in such a way that we get to see all of it. And it all comes down to love and sacrificial love. You can't really explore love unless it involves sacrifice. Like giving up smoking for someone you love because they want to spend more time with you and they don't want to smell the cigarette smoke or taste the cigarette smoke. You gotta sometimes tell someone you love them more than something else that you love more. Something that might be good, might be bad, but when you sacrifice something you like for someone you love, you show them that you love them above that, above all. There was a sermon today about sacrificial love, and I wish it was recorded, but it was in the park. Anyway, that was just amusing. I'll keep this short. There was church in the park today, and the sermon was love and sacrifice. I took a nap, and I woke up, and all of these thoughts were here. It's like, oh, that's why He created the tree of good and evil. It's logic. All I have is logic and conjecture. I don't have many verses to back this up. So I'm curious to what you think. Does this seem like it makes sense that God created the tree of good and evil and the devil in order to glorify His Son and to show us the awesomeness of His love? Let me know gently, and I hope this blesses you, and have a good day.